Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a comparative video between the NG 787-9 and the JC 787-9. But before we start, I'm going to be giving some criteria that both aircraft need to meet, which will evaluate which is the better model. The criteria is based off the qualities that make a mold good, thus determining which is the better mold. In our case, our criteria is based off quality, accuracy, and budget. Finally, before we start this video, I'd like to mention as a discretion that this video is not a direct comment at either of the respective companies, but as a video stating the contrast between the two Dreamliner molds. With quality being our first piece of the criteria, let's start with that. In essence, both these models have great quality. Their landing is durable, their extended features like the engine and antennas are really durable, nothing breaks, and in comparison to other companies like Phoenix and Gemini Jets, both of these outrank them, especially on the 787-9 mold. However, in my case, the JC Wings 787-9 has let me down a little bit with its engine falling off as well as the section of its landing gear. That may be because this is my first model and my oldest, which could be the reason why it's fallen off a couple of times. So far my NG hasn't done anything, but that's only like a month old. So technically both of these are top of the range when it comes to durability, giving them both a 5 out of 5 respectively. Now we're on to our second factor, that being accuracy and realism. Both companies have done a magnificent job on the realism and accuracy of the 787, particularly NG, who have mastered both the height, the wing flex, and the nose of the aircraft, which are probably the most distinguished and difficult aspects of the aircraft. As seen ahead, the JC 787-9 wing flex is a little bit more fluctuated than the NG, which is featured on the left hand side. This is a bit inaccurate, however, it's not a massive deal as many other companies like Phoenix seem to have a much more fluctuated wing flex. Furthermore, the two elevations of the aircraft are a little bit contrasting, with the NG 787-9 featured in the United colours being a little bit lower, which is a bit more realistic, as I commonly say that the 787 looks a little bit like a sports car of the aviation industry, with it being a bit more low end. In this case, the JC Wings is slightly taller, however it's not too big of a deal, with it not being particularly too big of a difference, but just big enough to be featured in this video. As well as this, the windshields on both aircraft are both a little bit off from the 787-9 in reality, with the outer windows being a little bit too sharp towards the end. However, neither of them are closer than each other to reality, with them both being a bit tight. Finally, the inlets on the bottom of the aircraft featured on the JC Wings 787-9 is a lot more distinguished and featured on the bottom of the aircraft, unlike the NG. In this case, the JC Wings is a lot more realistic, with the 787 in reality having very distinguished intakes underneath the belly of the aircraft. Both aircraft have great general detailing as well, such as the antennas and lines. Overall, NG just edges out over JC when it comes to accuracy and realism, with them getting a 5 out of 5 and JC getting a 4 out of 5 respectively. Now we are on to our final factor, that being budget. The NG 787-9 costs 64 Australian dollars, while the Qantas 787-9 costs 56 Australian dollars. That's a difference of $8. In my opinion, the better bang for the buck is with JC. It's definitely not perfect, but its price is definitely more worth it. than the NG's price. In my opinion, the NG787-9 is slightly overpriced, while the JC Dreamliner not so much. So in this case, the JC edges out with 5 out of 5 for pricing, and NG getting a 5 out of 3 because the pricing definitely needs a little bit of improvement. Then who wins? Well, if you've already done the math, it's quite obvious that JC has won, with them getting 14 while NG got 13. With all due respect, both of these models are magnificent, especially the NG one. However, due to underlying factors such as pricing, JC edges out significantly, as it's got more variety with liveries, which isn't a current issue with NG, but one that will be resolved as is a fairly new one. However, as of now, the JC Wings 787-9 is better because its durability is amazing, its realism is almost perfect, and its pricing is affordable, while the NG is pretty much perfect in everything except pricing. So, you've heard it from me, JC is better, and yeah. So if you guys did enjoy this comparative video, please tell me in the comments below if you'd like to see more. I'm going to be doing a Gemini Jets vs Phoenix A380 mold comparison very soon. So if you found this one a little bit, let's say, close, you guys will have the A380 comparison to look forward to, as they are truly very, very contrasting. But other than that, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see you guys in the next one. See you guys.